Here.
Ooh,
Nice.
that was smooth. Welcome to the Hight Today show. Hey, how's it going? I'm Victor Martinez Jr. And you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Rachel Wolfson, the first.
I'm
Hey.
Matt Edgar.
What's
Only.
up? Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know
on
if
this
it's too late
beautiful...
to say Happy New Year. And thanks again.
Dude, it's way too late to
Yeah,
say
we're
Happy
winning
New
the new year.
I don't know why. Because
You
I
could-
haven't seen y'all since last year, right?
Oh, okay.
See?
What?
Right?
Was that last
I
year?
don't think we've seen him since last year.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last High Tonight show?
Last year,
Really?
2023.
Damn.
So,
Time flies.
how's it going?
It's going. I
Oh,
almost
fuck.
lit the chair on fire. There's Matt.
I'm lighting everything on
We're
fire.
not doing well this morning.
This place doesn't seem flammable. It does look like there's an asbestos problem.
Yeah, it's
Love this
wood
place.
or something.
Live here at the Creek in the Cave.
Sexy ass studio.
It's great.
I'm so
Love
glad to
it.
get
It's
y'all in
kind of
here.
crazy that I only heard about this last night. Like, oh, I didn't know they had a studio there. And then
Wow.
less than 10 hours later, I'm in it.
There we go.
You just wake up
You
and you're here.
manifested it.
I
Wow.
manifested it.
Just looking in the corner, I'd always seen like I saw the buildup of it. It was just used to
Oh,
be.
you saw it brewing?
Yeah, I was like, oh, what's the walls for? And then, then I heard they were putting shit in there. It's like, man,
I like the color schemes too. I like the wood up into the blue. Anyways, what do you guys want to talk about?
This is a very
you got to get a shot of the
on the spectrum conversation.
Are we? Am I making friends? Am I cool, guys?
You're doing great.
Great. Okay.
Killing it.
I mean, this is pretty much it, honestly. Yeah, this is all I really wanted, just to hang out, you know.
Oh, we could have we didn't have to podcast.
No,
this.
yeah,
came
but we
over.
have to
Hung out.
podcast it. That's the most productive way to do
You
this
could have
thing.
came over.
You're right. Let me know when. Yeah, I don't.
You come
I
over
love-
anytime, dude.
You
Yeah.
like coffee? We got a new coffee
I
machine.
got the best coffee machine in town. It's better than any coffee. I was about to call it a coffee club. I'm such a comedian. What do you call that? A coffee shop. Coffee club.
What do y'all like? I
I'm
like
a paid regular at Starbucks.
iced lattes.
I like cold brews, but this one makes a nice drip coffee.
It makes any kind of coffee, any kind of like hot coffee. And there's like a connection thing that you could put milk in. So you get a
Ooh.
foam thing. And you just press one button. Boom.
Fuck. They live in a tower right over there. And it looks right over here. You could fucking see
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's
Yeah.
fucking beautiful.
I look down at Creek and Cave, make sure everything's chill.
Telling them
Yeah.
if there's anyone on the roof.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually did that for Sunset Strip. There was someone on the roof. And I called
Oh,
Christina.
yeah.
I
Wait.
called Christina. I was like, "There's someone on the roof." They're like, "Yeah, it's the roofers or the air conditioning guys."
Man, maybe we should mind
It's
our own
okay.
fucking business.
Yeah, but I am.
I was watching him for a while too. I was like, do something. You have no idea.
Was he roofing?
He was roofing. Nothing weird.
You got.
He was actually helping.
Yeah,
Doing more than I was doing for
it
the
was
place.
the AC guys. They were for
Yeah.
sure helping.
That's
Yeah.
what I imagine birds think whenever they see people. Like, what's this people?
Up there in the
Yeah,
roof. Like,
what are
whoa.
they doing? What are y'all up here
Dude,
for?
this is
Stay
our
in your lane.
Yeah.
What are you
This is
doing?
kind of our spot.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I got it. All right. I want to be honest. I haven't seen the newest Jackass yet, right?
Bro,
So to
it's on
me,
Netflix.
I know, and I've seen maybe like I haven't seen them all actually.
This is like a really better version of the Tonight Show. Because usually it's like the host watch the thing and he has
Yeah.
questions.
No,
And just
I'll
so
be-
you know, I don't know who the fuck you
No,
are.
this is
that's the point
hilarious.
though. That's the point though. What I was
Hilarious.
trying to say is that because of that, Rachel's just the homie from LA to me. Like she's always been right. Like anytime I see you, it's just like we're smoking, we're chilling.
Yeah, we go way back.
And you stayed like that, even through all this shit. Like
You
after,
haven't changed a bit.
Still.
No,
Yeah.
like you're still the homie that's just like, yo, man, I'm just here smoking and chilling. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, nothing like, yeah.
I'm
that's true
still
to
my
form.
authentic self.
Right? Even after all this shit, and congratulations, you know,
Oh,
I'm glad
thank
to be
you.
able to say it formally. That's fucking badass.
Hell yeah.
I mean, did you ever imagine doing anything like that?
I mean, if you would have told 15-year-old me that I would be in Jackass someday, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But I still can't believe it happened.
Did you like doing things like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a
Like,
weirdo.
Had you tried tasing your tongue before?
No, not that.
Okay.
But I'm just,
Yeah, we practiced that, homie. I fed her a few
That was
scorpions.
just something
Yeah.
you did for fun before
No,
the cameras.
I like I'm the kind of person where if someone tells me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. Or if it's like,
That's how I get laid all the time. Like, dude, you should not fuck me right now.
Did y'all meet through comedy?
yeah.
Yeah? Which show? Do y'all know?
At the Comedy Store.
Oh, no shit. What? Like
We both had
I was a paid regular. She was a new comedian. I gave her advice.
Yeah?
He's like, we should write sometime.
Oh, that good old line.
My friend at the time was dating his friend at the time.
And her friend,
Store.
and this, with all due respect, like, this girl is like, was known as like the hottest girl, like, in stand-up. She was a model, like an actual model. And like, that was her friend, and everybody, like, all the dudes just.
Can we not use names?
Listen,
I really prefer if you didn't use names.
All the dudes are like, all the dudes loved. They all had a crush on this girl because she was like so like as a person that, like, I'm a comedian 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
bro, you're hot,
if we're
dude.
graded on a curve, right?
Fuck
Come
yeah.
on. But like, this girl is like a real life like model, right? And then she introduced me to Rachel. And when I saw Rachel, I was like, oh my God, everybody thinks you're the hot one. Like, this is like the hot one for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways.
He's crazy.
And yeah, it totally worked. Just that kind of mentality.
And
you
then
know?
y'all fell in love.
It's a mindset thing.
Look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm dating a dude from Jackass.
It's your dream.
It's my dream. Yeah. When I was 15 watching Jackass, like, dude, I'd like to fuck one of these guys. And look at, I always thought back then, I thought it would happen. Didn't think it actually would happen.
That's like The Secret. You just got to
Yeah,
be very specific.
you
I
were-
can't believe it happened.
Man,
Who would you have had sex with?
Any girl on Jackass.
Was it Steve-O or something?
Yeah, who are you into?
Bam's mom. I was in the MILFs back then.
Fucking A.
Nah, it was it's cool. I you know, like, it's been, I would take her to the sets and drop her off. It was during the pandemic. So I would drop her off on like a Jackass set, and it's like a fucking, it was like surreal. Like, it was like a wonderland. Like there's Johnny Knoxville limping. Like, there's like Steve-O, like, just, you know, like these all, it's real. It's real. It's fucking real.
That's
And
what
then
I
I
liked
would
about
leave.
Hollywood.
I'll drop her off and leave, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna see her again. Like, I never knew it was gonna fucking happen. You know?
Yeah, him and my mom were like so worried about me.
They thought they're going to kill you?
Or like get fucked up.
Yeah, like break something?
Dude, one
Maybe.
time she came home, that scorpion shit was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What nobody sees is like, her face was like pulsating for a week, and her
Also-
lymph nodes got swollen.
Also, when we shot the outro scene, the one with they were doing BB, was it BB? Not BB. What are those called?
Like pellet guns.
Paintball.
Those are paintballs. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's the ending scene, and it's like a military type scene or whatever, and it's the Vomitron.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What?
Or and there's this machine in the middle, and all the guys are in it, and then me and like who else who was with me? Was it Dave?
Dave England was on the machine.
Dave even was on. No, okay, I forget who I carried. Was it with Aaron? Anyways,
Fuck?
they were doing this thing like
It spins them?
It spins them, but they're chugging milk,
Oh,
and then it starts
shit.
spinning.
Oh, that thing
And-
at like the theme parks?
And it's
Yeah.
all different colors of milk.
Okay.
They're all wearing different
it
colors.
spins them
it's
so fast that like
spins
it
them so
clings you
fast.
to the wall.
Yeah,
And you're
so,
stuck by
and
gravity.
so they don't know that there's this whole military scene about to break out, and they're like, there's like an invasion almost. There's like a helicopter it was literally the craziest thing of my life. And then like they were gonna get shot with paintballs, but there's so much going on, and there's so many they had so many actors playing these like military people, and I was on the military side, so it was like me and I think Aaron. Oh yeah, and we were supposed to get Dave on like a stretcher, which we did, but that they ended up shooting him with paintball guns, like extra targeting him because we were like carrying
He's
him.
horizontal,
So anyways,
so that's like easy
Did
to
the guns
yeah.
look real?
there's like no, it's real paintball guns, and then there's like explosives and all these things. And I come home, and like the next day, up and down from my butt all the way down to my ankles are bruises.
Oh, fuck.
From just like the
and
shrapnel
honestly, dude,
and,
it was so hot. Like she literally had bruises all over her body. I was
Yeah.
like,
And
it wasn't
fuck
your
yeah.
fault.
It wasn't me this time.
Yeah, I was about to
No,
say.
it
And
was
then,
so-
so you got
I
free
loved
reign to
it.
just hit her as much as you
I was
can.
like, dude,
till
I
she
swear
healed.
it was like her coworkers.
I
did this.
loved it. It was so fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I know.
But it was badass. Like she had like battle scars from being in Jackass.
Yeah, it was
you
really
know?
cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and people hate on me online sometimes. They're like, you only did 2 stunts. I'm like, no, dude, I had as many scenes as the rest of the guys. And I got to do the public pranks. Like Johnny Knoxville, Bad Grandpa, that was my grandpa. I played his granddaughter in a couple like public pranks.
Oh.
And so like I had as much screen time as the rest of the guys. It's just, they're haters and don't want to see it.
Well, also what they don't get is that like
I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm not a stunt person.
And the point of like her and Jackass started before the pandemic. So they had all these other ideas of things that they were going to do. A lot of public pranks. That's Jackass as a lot of like public shit, which Rachel would be, which is exactly what she did with the Bad Grandpa thing. Like you do the public pranks. They're going to use you for that stuff. And then when the world shuts down, there's no public. Like, oh, fuck, what do we do with Rachel? Shoot fucking shit at her. Get her to lick a taser or something.
No shit.
Well, I think like also because the reason why they never really had girls since the TV show, there was one girl who was like a friend of the cast. She wasn't like ever an official cast member, but she was on episodes and a part of Jackass.
They would do shit to her?
And she got really injured in a bit with Dave England and they couldn't use the footage and they were like, we'll never have girls again.
Oh.
And so obviously when they were shooting the new Jackass, it's a different time. They knew like they had to like, change it up and, evolve as people because they've evolved, like all of them are different.
Yeah, I see y'all as like the new generation.
Yeah. So they knew like they can't just be doing the same shit that they're doing. They're getting older.
Mhm.
And
it
so
fucked them up.
Yeah. And so, and they still got fucked up on this one too. And yeah. And so I think the pandemic, that was like a fucking wrench in the whole situation. Cause again, like we started shooting before the pandemic. They were going to take us somewhere else. We had to shoot in California the whole time because of COVID. And then public pranking was really difficult because you have to like COVID test these people for like Craigslist jobs. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like not realistic. It's just so expensive to COVID test everyone.
It's shut all that shit
And like
down.
that was, I feel like super expensive. And normally these Jackass movies are pretty low budget to make and they make so much money. And then like the way it was released was different because they had, like it was like one of the first movies that it got people coming back to theaters.
Shit.
But
that's
obviously
right.
Jackass fans don't care mostly about COVID and safety. Like
that's a stunt for them. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm gonna lick every
The
single
like, let's go
challenge.
see Jackass and live.
Let's have a COVID party.
Yeah. And so, sometimes I wonder like what it would have been like if like COVID didn't happen and like maybe someone would have died, like maybe it was better that we did stay in California. I mean, Poopies did almost die on Shark Week, but that's fine.
Who?
Poopies, he's one of the new cast members.
Oh.
He's insane in a good way. He's just like a total badass, like daredevil.
He's just I love him because he like reminds me of people I grew up with. He's from Oceanside, California. It's like
No,
a
he's
beach.
actually from Missouri.
Right, but he spent a lot of time there. Like he came up there in Oceanside. So he's got this just like he's a very SoCal dude that
Poopies.
he embodies like what that region
Yeah,
is.
he was like
He's
a
so funny,
YouTuber
dude.
before it, but he does like
And
all kinds of like just like crazy. Like he can surf, he can do anything.
Yeah. He's super talented at shit. Like he could skate, he could like, but then he just does crazy shit,
He's
like crazy
totally
stunts.
perfect
He's one of the
for
new
Jackass.
people as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and he's just a funny dude too. Like
He's beloved. Like he also won Best Kiss, an MTV award because I had to do this bit called The Quiet Game with me, Poopies, and Steve-O, and basically that's where I had to lick the taser.
Oh.
Poopies had to kiss a snake, and then Steve-O got the like guillotine that would come down on his shins.
the skateboard guillotine, like it just.
This is
And
all
so-
in the
stay
new
quiet.
movie?
And both
Yeah.
of them, Poopies and Rachel, didn't make a peep.
And
She
so
licked
yeah,
a
that's the
taser.
whole point is
They
you
show
can't.
that taser like everywhere.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole point is you can't make a sound. It's the quiet game, and of course, like Steve-O.
I mean, dude, how can you?
see
can you
Poopies
imagine?
get slow motion bit in the face by a snake.
Penetration, like the
And
teeth,
to
like
be honest, that they I think they were gonna see if I would have done that,
That's
and
what
I
I was about to
said
say.
I was gonna do it.
If you could have chosen.
No, I'm glad I got the scorpion. I mean, sorry, the taser. That they didn't want to do the snake. Like they ended up deciding not to do the snake with me because they don't want to permanently fuck up my face. They'll do that for poopies though.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because the snake could have done that?
Yeah, you can scar, or like bite my eye. Like he goes the wrong way.
Eye?
It bit him like right here in this area, but they made him do it like a bunch of times.
How do they choose? Is it random? Do they ask you? They're like, hey, are you interested
they
in
came
this
up
one?
to me beforehand and asked my consent basically if I would lick a taser, and I said yeah.
And what's the most dangerous thing that they ask you to do? Like you turned down or something?
I didn't turn down anything.
Oh shit.
There was nothing they offered me that I didn't turn down. The whole point is like to volunteer. There were actually things that they were like, don't volunteer for this. Like
they tell you.
But I'll be peanut gallery then. There's always like a group of guys who are standing on the side who are like making jokes and like watching it go down. So there's people who are doing the stunts and the pranks, and then there's the peanut gallery, and everyone kind of rotates things
like
to
roasting someone as they get fucking like mutilated.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fucking fun.
Yeah, you should watch it.
I'm gonna now.
It's really good. And then so they have Jackass Forever, and then they have the 4.5. So it's basically all the stuff that couldn't make it into the movie, which is some people liked 4.5.
Dude, I did. I liked
more
and the movies.
Forever.
It's definitely the best Jackass movie, but 4.5 is like kind of next level because it's almost like a documentary. It's not longer.
It's
Jackass.
just the stuff that it's like a same amount of like length of movie, but it's all the stuff. We shot so much stuff.
What if I watch 4.5 first?
You can.
No. Watch the fucking Forever first. Trust me, because it's 4.5 almost acts as a documentary about Jackass Forever.
Cool.
But it still has stunts and pranks.
But it has brand new
really
stunts and it has new I like it more because it's like not only is it Jackass, but it's like more. It's also like a documentary of it. So
they do 0.5 for like all of them. Yeah. Oh man.
It's so fun. I miss it. It was so fun.
Oh, they're gonna do 1 million of those.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
There's gonna be a fucking school of them.
See.
They're gonna do like a Hunger Games version.
There's gonna be a Jackass University. They groom in the future.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. I'm like
how to fuck with your parents 101.
I'm like I feel like I'm getting old. Like we need to do this soon if it's gonna happen.
Those guys, I mean, those guys aren't. They're like probably. I mean, they're older now. They're doing.
They can't.
Dude, Johnny Knoxville got. I think like the worst injury that I've seen him go through.
He's all bionic
on the last
now.
one.
Like all of his
Jackass
shit's replaced. Both his hips. All of his.
Dude, I mean, that guy he walks the walk, man. He's the leader, but also it's like he'll go in first. You know what I mean? Like he's crazy, dude.
I believe
he's the OG.
He's a good actor too. That's fun.
But there's other people that aren't on that like play a role like Jeff Tremaine's the director. I mean, he gets all of this shit and he orchestrates a lot of stuff. It's like him and Knoxville, like they're just geniuses.
I love everything they do. They're the same people that did the Whites of West Virginia. Y'all seen that shit?
Mm-mm.
What?
What is it?
Oh, the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Check that shit out. Y'all ain't seen that?
I hate whites.
Oh man, that's exactly why you should watch it. It's really fun. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You seen it? Oh, it's fun. It's like watching Hillbillies. It's like the Squidbillies. You ever seen that?
Not
Is
really.
that a cartoon?
Yeah, it's a
it's the Squidbillies on Adult Swim, but it's like them in real life.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we mostly just watch documentaries about cults and
Aliens.
Ate lots of aliens.
A lot of murder shows.
Yeah, well,
That's
she loves
doing.
murder. I just know I'm gonna get got one day by Rachel.
I just know
Remember
everything.
this.
How would you kill him?
She knows how to do it.
I would never kill him.
But if you had to.
No.
He knows
I know how
he's
she
gonna
would do it. She would go the hired way. She would hire somebody to do it.
That's very professional.
She gets somebody. We get a
true.
cleaner.
Very
Like she
professional.
hires
Yeah,
people
yeah.
to do shit
And
anyways.
it'd be like a single tier.
She would hire. It's not gonna be her. She ain't getting dirty. I think I'm going camping to Joshua Tree, and this is my driver. I ordered you a driver. A driver to Joshua Tree. Thanks, babe.
No, you don't need to pack a big bag.
Don't worry
Just
about the
something for the
compass.
night.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Did you guys fuck with CKY?
a little bit. Yeah,
Back in
I mean,
the
a
day?
little bit.
What is
Middle
that?
school. Yeah.
So it was like CKY and it was Jackass, and CKY was like the skaters and like band
Yeah.
and everything. And then Jeff Tremaine and Knoxville were Jackass.
Yeah. I grew up in that skateboard culture and getting videos, and there's some of them are hard to find. And when you do that, CKY is inevitable. You're gonna run into it.
And then Big Brother magazine, it's like it's basically like those two came together and formed Jackass.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bam was instrumental in that
Yeah.
coalescing of retardation.
Yeah. Bam's another guy that's also talented too, though. It's kind of crazy how some of these guys could shred.
Yeah.
Well, like Dave England and Danger Aaron, like they do all these crazy stunts. I guess they're like stuntmen now, but those guys are really just snowboarder dudes. Like they just like they go snowboarding, surfing, skateboarding, and they're good at it. Like, but then they just got into this fucking.
Fill the time before in between sets.
It's just as fun to jump off of shit.
Dave England told me that because like when you're a snowboarder, obviously you fall a bunch. So like through that, he learned how to fall, and that's what gave him the edge, like on Jackass, because he's the kind of guy that they fling his body, like he goes flying, like they like he gets physically like fucked up, but he knows how to roll,
knowing how to fall, knowing how to exaggerate a fall,
exaggerate. Like there was one, I think it was the first Jackass with the giant shopping cart. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was how they finished it, I think.
Oh,
they all rolled down
the intro.
Oh,
was that the intro? That was the intro.
Yeah,
It's definitely intro. It's like such a great way to intro like a high budget Jackass, because that's the first movie, you know? Yeah. But like when they shot that a couple times, and Dave was saying the first time he hit it one way, but he just didn't like how it looked, and he knew he had to like roll his ankle a certain way the next time. So like the way I would work on a joke, like the first shot, like, oh, okay, I see how I'll do that better.
Fall.
Yeah, and he just biffed it even harder and it just looked better, and that's the one that made it. There's an art, dude.
Yeah.
There's an art to Jackass.
You know, with those, you shoot it multiple times. So multiple times you're getting hurt. Like I had to lick the taser a bunch of times, and they used 3 different scorpions for the scorpion thing. So I'm getting bit and like, you know, by different scorpions, different venom, like, you know.
Hey. So, that's the type of fucking, you know, that's a, you know, that's what audience it takes.
Sees one shot. So it's like, you know,
my God, that's a sacrifice.
I was a stand-up comedian who came into this world, and come to find out I do enjoy stunts and pranking and all of these things. And like, you know, I've always been athletic. So I think back, like I would have probably loved to do more in the stunt world looking back, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I would always break bones easily.
You didn't break any bones on this one?
No, but I played basketball growing up, and I have broken 2 of one of my leg and my wrist.
God, see, that's hot. I just got that. I don't. What's wrong with
you? Want to break a bone of hers?
Just that my girl did. Like,
knock on wood. I played all Pee-wee football and high school football, and I didn't break any bones.
You're so lucky.
You know what it is for me? I grew up watching pro wrestling.
Yeah,
like in those formative years, like puberty. So like the women that I'm attracted to are like
China,
like China, dude. Like they're fucking kind of manly.
Oh my God. Can you hand me the rolling tray?
Oh, here you go.
This is a great podcast, man.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. To think you didn't even want to say nothing. See, I'm glad.
I didn't want to say nothing. Hey, I didn't know I was
Imagine.
coming. I was walking Rachel here, and then I got sucked into this thing.
I'm glad you kept her safe. It was scary out there.
Even during the daytime.
It is it's scarier because you can see everything. At night, it's kind of like, you know, you don't see all the shadows. That's what's waiting in the shadows. They're awake right now. It's actually nice out.
It is.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I saw the sunrise.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah, because you were driving. What do you get at Buc-ee's? What do you like to
eat? Brisket.
Sandwich?
They have sandwiches and wraps.
Do they do plates?
Plates?
Like if I wanted to get brisket on a plate, or does it have to exclusively be a sandwich?
I think it has. You could possibly ask. I don't know. They could probably walk out of there with a pound of it or something.
Can I get a prostitute?
Yeah. They got something.
How's their lot lizard menu?
Yeah, they got something like this going on. Yeah, with the truckers in the back.
Yeah. Those are my people. One time I saw a prostitute's boobs at a gas station in like the middle of the desert, coming home in the middle of the night. I was smoking a joint. I pulled over to smoke a joint, and there was just some girl out there, and she's like, "You mind if I hit that weed?" This trashy, big old lot lizard. "You mind if I hit that joint?" And it was like almost done. I was like, "Yeah, you can just have it." She's like, "Chill." And she's like, "What are you doing out here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going home from a gig." And she's like, "I'm like, what are you doing out here?" It's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Why are you talking to this
I was
person?
like, well, she asked me, and I'm sitting there. I don't know.
Matt like will talk to anyone. I've seen it. Matt will talk to anyone, everyone. A homeless person will be like, "How are you?" Be like, "I'm great. How are you? What's your story?"
Yeah, she was like, I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm just out here."
What are you doing?
She's just like,
"Do you like comedy?"
You like wrestling? Do you like wrestling? Who's your favorite wrestler?
Watch this clip for a second.
Yeah.
Look how crazy this shit is. You might appreciate this. You seem like a trashy person. She was like, "I'm just out here sucking truck drivers' dick for $50 a pop."
Okay.
That was her answer. I was like, "Oh shit, how's it going?"
Well, I only have 49.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. Oh God. What do you get? Do you have Venmo or what? Yeah. Yeah.
But she showed me her boob.
Did you pay her?
No,
You just gave her the joint?
I gave her the joint, and she's like, "Well, you want something?" Because you gave me a joint. Like, I'll just look at your boob. He's like, "All right, boom."
Wow.
Like, chill. Thank you. Good night, ma'am.
You're so weird.
I got in my car, just laughed for a couple miles, calling all my
That's
buds.
wild. I imagine a really big areola, but
Wow. Well, I painted that picture well.
Right?
You see what I see,
And
what I saw.
It was a big dark areola.
No, it was white. It was like a light. It was an old woman, guys.
That's
It was like
crazy.
saggy, fucking.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
For a joint.
It wasn't about it being hot. It was just like, well, I'm on here.
While you're, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like while you might as well check the air in your tires. Since you're here, you might as well, check all the fluids.
Yep.
What the fuck? See, that's why you shouldn't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right.
It influences you.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. This was that age. Like, this was that age
This is
where I'm
an
like
age.
forming my. This is also why I'm into like when I was this age, I like MILFs and mature. That was my shit.
You know what?
Because
Yeah.
when you're a kid, growing up watching wrestling, you're only attracted to women who are old enough to be managers.
I was 19. She was
What
49.
does that even mean?
Because the managers are like the girls that like walk the wrestlers to the ring. They're like, they're like grown
wrestler
women.
managers.
Yes.
Got it.
They're grown women. And when they're hot, they're wearing like hot shit. And you're
They're
like
powerful.
12, 13 years old. That's what a woman is to you, So now
That's
it's
why all
like,
these teachers go down, man. I've seen it happen. It happens all the time.
well,
The
that's
school
that's-
teachers.
Yeah, right. Because that's hot. I had hot teachers.
Man, that's why I don't
Miss
want
Dodge,
my son.
if you're out there.
I don't want my son in
I haven't
public
forgotten
school.
about you.
I got my boy homeschooled for
What
now.
did she teach, Ms. Dodge?
Miss Dodge, Miss Dodge teach special ed English, and I was her TA,
Oh my God.
and I wanted that TNA.
Oh my
And I was
God.
openly flirty
I
with
didn't know
her.
you were like in like the head of special ed.
Hey,
Like
The
I
head-
didn't.
Can I tell you
The
something?
head special ed.
I started at the bottom
and look
because they actually put
They
me
thought
in.
you were so good at. They thought you were so good at special ed.
Yep,
They're like,
exactly.
"Can you help out?"
I found out I had a friend that was in special ed. And he seemed totally normal, not like slow or anything. I was like, "How did you get in there?" He's like, "Dude, it's the best, man. I took this test. They're like, oh, this guy needs extra help. He could just sit here. Now, like, I get straight A's." I was like, "What? What is this test?" So I guys went to my counselor. I was like, "I think I need special ed." They're like, okay, well, you got to take this test, and I purposely get like a C or something. I get a few of them right just to throw the smoke off a little bit.
What were
But
the
I
questions?
bombed this test. It was just basic shit. And like, oh shit, yeah, you need special ed. So I go in there immediately. I'm just dunking on these.
We're gonna have to cut this whole thing.
No, this is life,
Yeah.
guys.
You just got this woman in charge. Like
No,
accused-
she was she was like she was shutting that shit down as an adult. Like, no, and I don't care if you graduate. I would
I'm
never.
Sorry, I don't want to be in the. I don't want that on the pod.
I understand.
Oh, come
completely.
on.
no,
Can you send
I
that
don't
to
want
me
that
personally?
or the thing on the pod.
What?
Yeah.
That was the funny.
That was good.
That was a
That's
funny.
true,
This
too.
is the creek and cave.
I don't care.
This is punk
you
rock
you
shit.
say it on your own podcast.
I'm looking at the Legion of Skanks. I'm seeing Jessica Curson up here.
I don't care.
Eddie Pepitone.
All day,
I'm just
honestly.
saying we're gonna have to cut stuff out because I'm not
Alright.
gonna be. Matt doesn't
Associated.
care. No, I just can't. I'm not.
All right. Well, anyways, We'll fast forward to this part. I just told a funny story about how I rose from the bottom of special ed to the top, and that's on our Patreon. Can they pay for that? Can we put that behind a paywall,
somewhere.
babe?
Sure. No, actually.
She wants you to burn
if you
it.
want to say stuff like that, you do it on your own pod.
All right, I need to get a podcast pronto.
There you go.
I can't let this shit go to waste.
You rolled another blunt during all this too.
Yeah.
Dude, she could roll a blunt while she's driving.
Yeah, like in the middle of a war. Look at that.
Standing, walking,
Ugh, there's a holes.
complaining.
There's holes in it.
In these.
All right. So Rachel, what would you do if you weren't doing comedy?
If I wasn't doing comedy,
Non-entertainment. Just taking life like just like square.
I
as
already
fuck.
did that.
What was
Square. I was working in marketing. I had like a day job.
You liked it though?
No. No one likes day jobs. Who like love? I mean, some people love. I'm not that type of person. I just did it because that's what I thought I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a marketing job, but I ended up getting a marketing job in comedy. So it ended up, no matter what, I tried to fit into that. What would I be doing life if I wasn't doing entertainment? And it still led me to entertainment.
You were posting for like someone or something?
I worked for Levity, the company that owns all the improvs. And so I was like working in their marketing, at their corporate office doing marketing for them and social media. So I was like, and I started going to stand-up shows in college and stuff, it was always in the peripherals. So it was like, okay, no matter what you're doing in life, there's always going to be things there that like move you towards what you're meant to do. If you're open to it, I don't know. But yeah, that would probably be the only job out of marketing that I enjoyed doing was marketing comedians. Because it was easy to do that if you just cut clips and,
That's all you're doing for them?
Or making flyers. And I was the one who like, if they would come to an improv, like I'm the one who's making the flyer for them.
You were doing that in Hollywood?
Yeah. Well, the office was in Playa del Vista.
Oh shit.
So
Fucking A.
yeah, I would drive to that. It was a 9 to 5. I was not there at 9. And I was
there closer to 5.
I would not show up at like my desk on time, but my work would be done.
Yeah.
Because it was social media. And I was like stoned at work every day and I was getting the office high. I wasn't like a good corporate person,
Me neither.
I'd wear like crop tops.
I got face tattoos specifically so I'd never get accepted into corporate.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I mean, I like ties. I like suit and tie, but I don't like offices. I don't know.
I would deliver drugs.
Yeah,
that would be my job if I wasn't a comedian. I was thinking about that because I would keep the same hours as comedian.
Yeah. I don't like 9 a.m.
Yeah. But 9 p.m. on.
Like
and then
12 o'clock now.
Also, I dabble in being like
early.
I got up early today. That's why I came in from Dallas.
Dope.
Yeah. I was
Thank
like,
you.
oh man.
I'm a professional.
Yeah, we were on 3:20 time.
That's what it is.
We showed up.
That's when I
way
got.
before
Yeah, that's
4:20.
when I went to probably got home.
3:20.
Yeah.
4:20. When'd you get started on weed?
Right before. Like when I like professionally got into weed.
No, like what you first, but other than first smoking, like you're fucking. I mean, I respect you as far as like you smoke hardcore. You know what I'm saying? It's like part of your. People like to say like Victor, you're always smoking, right?
Yeah.
Or like like is that your part of your personality? Like you're the weed guy, huh? I'm like no,
it's just
I'm not the weed. Like it's just something I do.
It's just an eighth of our personality.
See, I love shit like that. Like, see, more than just like it's something that we do. It's like, that's how you think, right?
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that weed is very helpful to me, but also my relationship with it in terms of my comedy, because what I've really been enjoying is not getting high before I go on stage.
Oh, shit.
And waiting until I'm done. Like last night, I had 4 shows. I didn't smoke all day. And as soon as I got off stage, like I had a blunt rolled before I got off stage on my 4th show. So as soon as I got off, it was my reward. And I had 4 really good shows. I figured out
that's great. Yeah, you
the
always do
beginning of
great.
a new show. Thank you. And I figured out the beginning of my opener, which felt really good. And it was just like such a good night in comedy here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right,
a
so
lot
that's-
of that had to do with me not being high.
But like
Yeah.
water sober, like fucking nothing.
No, nothing.
Oh yeah.
You just got to go up
I,
raw dog.
I'm
Oh,
pretty serious
shit.
about the not doing anything before you go on, because I hate when people say things like, "Oh, I just need a little take the edge off."
Ideally,
I just think that's
for
such
me,
pussy
I'd
shit.
like to smoke
When-
on stage. I like to smoke while I'm performing.
I like
if
to bring
optional.
my best self on stage. If
Some
I have,
people can do that. You
some
know?
people can.
That's
That's
my
what
favorite.
teach his own.
I get
But
bored. All right, I've performed sober. I just think about how long have I been up here the whole time. I get really bored. I get really, really bored.
Oh, no, dude.
I'm not having fun, and then it feels like they're not having fun.
I feel like it's my job to maintain the fun. Not that it will always
Mm.
happen, but there's also things to work on that I need 100%. And I'm never going to get to the 100, but like as much capacity as my brain could give out, like I
Mhm.
need for memorizing shit,
Did you
feeling,
remember?
listening.
I forget things when I'm sober more than when I fucking smoke.
Not me. When I'm
Swear
high,
to-
dude, I'm so dumb. To ask Rachel, like I would I would lose the keys in my hand.
Yeah. He's different when he's high up there. He's slower,
Way
low
slower.
energy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you know, that was how I was doing comedy for like the last 7 years. And I feel so like kind of upset that that's how I've been doing comedy. It's just like way disconnected and in my own head and paranoid and not confident.
Which I think those things are great to be high and like go to those places in your head.
Hmm.
But just for me personally, where I'm at in my age and I've been the guy I've been high on stage for years. Like I've done that.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that.
I do. I like
But-
to think I do it 50-50.
but,
I don't know.
But I think like when I use weed, it's very like inward, and I'm like tinkering with the fucking,
Mhm.
listening to a set. When you listen to a set high, that's some game changing shit.
Do you like your voice?
You got to get past that.
You gotta get
That's
past
part of
it,
like
huh?
finding your voice is being okay with it.
Being okay.
Yeah.
with it.
I mean,
feel
I
like
get what
I
you're
sound like
saying.
a stupid idiot.
Yeah, you got to get past that.
And
Listen to it
don't-
more,
and
and you'll
shut
get
up.
used to it. Listen to
just
it
like,
more,
shut
and you'll
up,
start
yeah.
you'll start hearing the things about your voice you like that connect.
I've been doing this
and then you
10
start just
years
doing
now,
it.
and I hate my fucking self.
Well, you got to listen to your.
You know what I find interesting the other day? There's this joke where I'm talking about how I have borderline and it just means that you're a bitch. But how I say bitch, sometimes it hits harder. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I have to say bitch or bit.
You're just,
How,
you're just a bitch.
or like how the inflection on that word really does affect how hard it hits with the audience. And there's just certain words and how I say them, and I wouldn't know that unless I like go back and hear
Yeah.
like
But that's you saying your set word for word every time.
No, that's why you listen
Yeah,
to
but
it.
even one inflection
Because
change.
Yeah.
mine,
And that's
because mine
also-
changed.
but the inflection,
they
but-
change all the
but
time.
the inflection
This one's-
becomes part of the writing.
but then
Yeah.
but
so when certain things you
Just
need to
out of
say a certain
boredom.
way.
Just
and
out
this
of
is
boredom.
why you can't be high when you're on stage, because that's such a deep nuance that you have to remember to use at that moment, that if I was high, I'm scared I'm going to lose that and then be in my head, what was the thing I was supposed
Yeah.
to do? And it derails
Well,
everything.
that's right. I mean, do you
I need to have
record?
access to that
yeah,
at
you
all
have to
times.
You
record.
record every
your
set.
set. I mean, I do, and I got to be honest. I'm not as good at listening to my sets, but lately I've gotten a little bit better because I am just really really focused on every single word mattering in my set, and my jokes just being super, super like I want a punchline every 15 seconds or less.
Mhm.
Like when I go out
Tightness.
there, I need something to say that's funny almost right away. And I like there's a lot of comedians that have that who can make fun of their physical appearance, or they just have something that they say that's really. I watched this one comedian in Tampa. He just went out there and he had the funniest one line. And it was just one line about him like seeing a girl or something, and like but it was just one line. I forget what it was, but it was really good and it hit right away. So like I'm in pursuit of that, and then after that, how can I get quickly to the next punchline?
Mhm.
You know? And it's every word matters, and every word matters in how you say those words. Like, and you only do that by trying it different every time and not being afraid of it not working because of how you're saying it. And it's crazy how inflection really does make a joke hit harder.
But all right, so with your sets, you do like, all right, I call them jokey jokes, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like
Set up
it's
punchline.
themed, right? Boom, 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 right? And I don't know, I've been going more for stories.
Yeah, I think a lot of comics in LA do that too. But the thing with stories is you got to put funny shit in there. Like
that's what it takes.
Like, you know, like you got to have punchlines in there. Otherwise, you're going to have one of those long things where the punchline gets the end. You're going to lose them. And it's like, it's not really a lot of reward. It's a lot of risk.
So
for
much
a little
time.
reward.
It does take a lot of time. You don't like storytelling?
No, that's like a whole genre. What I like is like you go out there and make fun of shit.
I love what you do. You know, I can tell that you write, right? I don't even like my handwriting. Type
your jokes.
I have bullets. I have bullet points and voice notes. That's all I've been
did you
doing for
ever
a
do
fucking
roast
decade.
battle?
Yes.
Okay, but
I love them.
But that's the thing. That's basically what you do.
That's the only thing I miss about the Comedy Store.
That's basically because I've seen you as a roaster, and I know you're funny, and you're funny in that way where you can make fun of something or someone that's personal to them, but you just got to do that with you.
That natural cattiness, that was something, man, you have to access. That's the closest thing to a sport this shit gets.
That's the same thing as what we do in stand-up, except it's on you. How do you make fun of you?
Yeah, and I saw that. I saw that.
Your life.
Yeah, and that's good for like fast shit. And that's what it takes, you know? And I understand that. And I know it's good to have those, you know, and I got a few, right?
Well, do you ever just like think of jokes? Like, do you ever do you ever write them down?
I have them in my head mostly, honestly.
No, what you do is you have a folder in your phone. Like, do you ever go to mics?
Not so much in the past like 6 months.
Since here, coming to here?
No, I've been in Austin since like 2020, 2019. Yeah. And so like I've been powering through, and I've taken the last like 7 months off. I've been chilling. Like I only hit mics just to like keep my ear to the ground, you know, and see what, you know.
Well, do you like doing stand up, or is it?
Oh yeah. Okay. But I don't want to be the funniest comedian. I tell everyone that all the time because I just want to host.
No, it's not about being the funniest comedian. It's about being the funniest version of yourself.
Of myself.
It's not a competition. You know what I mean?
No,
you know what I mean?
No, but what he means is he wants to be like real. You don't want to be like really good at it.
At comedy, I'd much rather put on a good show.
Right, but you could do that without being really good at it. Yeah, I hear that. I want to be really good at it. So it's like a different really good. I think about it all the time, and I do listen to my recordings.
But I don't, and I think about it every day. I do think about comedy every day, but not going to a mic every day or not hitting a show every day. I've really liked. For the past like half a year, just going to only book
you host.
Yeah.
You're a host. Yeah. That's a whole profession within comedy within itself. And that's something you've been honing
and I'd
for
much rather
years
be
now.
Good at that. I love that.
So that's the point of, that's good that you know in comedy, you enjoy hosting in particular. Like you don't necessarily want to go out there headlining on the road, whatever, but you would do that with hosting. You know what I mean? Like you would take the Hight Tonight show
correctly.
Or like you would take that on the road, not necessarily.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do a legal tour, right? Coast to coast, because LA is legal, New York's legal, and you would be hosting. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Yeah, that's all I prefer.
Huge skill.
Yeah, and I respect, and that's why I like bringing on the top. You know.
Well, to be fair, if you're a good host, you can go anywhere on the lineup.
Right. And it's not about me, you know, it's about keeping the fucking pep up, you know, keeping the vibe going. And it's you know, it's a real feeling like reading the room, like fucking for an hour and a half type shit. Yeah, but it is about you, because if what makes a good host is being personable and getting the room to trust you. And the way you get that room to trust you is by going out there and opening up. And you know, you saw me. Making them feel welcome. Me do that shit in the trenches and fucking in LA, in Koreatown. I was doing it in a dirty alleyway. I fucking hosted a garage. You've been honing this hosting skill for a very long time. With people like dying and shit and undercover cops rolling around. This is true. I was there. It was drug deals happening and people burning shit. It was fun. He had the Hight Tonight show in what is it? A garage, storage unit. This, but it's a storage unit. Imagine this size, but there's a street right here.
Where was it?
Is storage
in
unit.
Koreatown. In
Ooh.
Koreatown in Los Angeles, literally a mile and a half away from the Comedy Store, like circular to like everything. I could go downtown, go everywhere. I had, my son there. It was pretty chill. I did, Mike's there.
Yeah.
And I got inspired by a mariachi band that would practice 2 garages down. I saw them practicing. They were loud as fuck. I was like, man, I know comedians would come here.
Yeah. It was one of the grimiest places I did stand up ever. And especially in LA. But the thing was, what made it good is like, it was such a good audience. Like Arthur would be there and like all the homies
Shout
were
out
there.
Lagoon Squad, all of them dudes, man.
And
all
so
the
it was
ones.
really fun and it did feel safe because we were all together, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Cops would come through and they'd be like, yo,
Are you guys all right?
You guys know where you are, right?
Yes.
And we had the okay from all the local gangs and all the local hookers. They knew what was going on.
It was in the back of a Food for Less parking lot.
Yeah, the equivalent of an HEB out here, And they did.
Well, less than an HEB. It's Food for Less. Like HEB is kind of fancy. They have like a deli.
Yeah, I doubt
HEB's nice.
I don't think
Food
Food
for
for
Less.
Less has a
Oh,
deli.
you know about Food for Less?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Okay.
from Cali.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, so I don't know what the equivalent would be then.
Yeah.
A CVS?
No,
No.
CVS is like
It's
even more expensive than a Food for Less.
All right, well then just Google Food for Less. You can Google
But yeah.
Garage Mike.
Yeah. Is there pictures of it?
There's a
We
bunch
should
of shit.
archive
There's
that
videos.
somewhere.
There's a bunch of shit. I mean, I did it every Saturday for like 7 years straight. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got to know a lot of cool people. You'd go through there. I don't think that's the first time I saw you guys though. It was be at the Comedy Store. I mean, we'd be mostly hanging out there. Now it just feels like post-COVID, that place feels like a fucking, I don't know, like a museum,
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily where the heart of this fucking beast is right now.
The Comedy Store?
Yeah, like where it was, what it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a place it's like Mecca. You got to go there to touch the walls. If you respect this thing, then you got to see it because there's a lot of legends that walk through it, but it's not necessarily where you should be if you want to be a rising comedian right now. Right? Feels like that's where like here.
It's also like the #1 club on the planet. So you could say
Is
it's
it
like
still?
it's like shitting on. I mean, it's making more money than most
because
comedy
it's a
clubs.
landmark now. And that's why they kept it alive. Remember
is that
through
what
the
But it was a
Great.
comedy club before it was a landmark.
Did
It
y'all-
became
I
a
bet-
landmark because it
I
because they
think
wanted to keep it
it's
alive.
like
You were
East
there for
Coast-
COVID. They were doing
I think
comedy
it's
through
like-
the fucking glass.
I think it's like you have like the Cellar in New York, and then you have like the Stand, and
Yeah.
then you have what was the Creek and Cave, and then they moved down here. So here you have Mothership, Creek and Cave, Sunset. There you have the like the Mothership is like the extension of the Comedy Store. So the Comedy Store. Then you have the Improv. Then you have the Laugh Out. All of them
and
are
if we're
iconic.
talking LA scenes, like
iconic.
it's like the Comedy Store's still #1.
And the thing is,
absolutely,
they all-
And
absolutely.
all it doesn't have is stars right now. Like it did for a while, and it's just this is what happens.
no, but stars still come through
Oh,
there. That's
yeah,
the
no,
thing.
they still got that.
It's like
I mean, Jeff Ross is still doing roast
Right.
battle there, right? Or
right.
something,
but
doesn't
I
he?
guess what I mean, like, it's a different type. Like
they
It's
all go
different
through
now.
waves. All of these comedy clubs go through waves and transitions and periods of like popular and then periods of like not popular. Like Matt has been a comedian for what, 17 years? And you started at the store when you were 19,
seen
baby.
it, man.
He's seen it
It had-
transition from when it was nothing
Before,
back to
yeah.
the Rogan years when it became like super amazing.
I got there a month after the Carlos thing. So they banned Rogan a month before I got there.
And you got to see him come back. And
Yeah,
then, so I
in
was just sitting there for
2014.
It's like
all that
sports
shit.
teams.
so in
you know?
07, so 7 years of being there before I saw Rogan come back. And then it started picking up.
It's like,
But it's not just, it's like Rogan definitely,
I mean, how do you feel about him calling that shit Mitzi's right here downtown?
it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
great
it's-
tribute.
I mean, it's like, that's what it, does it feel like that in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mothership kind of feels like a comedy store in
it's like an extension. They're like, if it was like you had a cousin, it would be
Like,
you know,
since that popped up, what
like
is it
Adam,
now? Like, is it 9 clubs out here now?
What?
Since like, even since like the talk, like, he got here.
Oh, right. I don't know. I just know that like I never thought I would come here, or I never thought I would live here. I was definitely like doing fine at the store, but once pictures started coming out, it was the first time I got FOMO. And I was like, dude, those are all my friends and they're having fun, dude. And I've been to Austin. Like we did Moon Tower. That was fun.
Yeah, that's
and that wasn't
different,
even a mothership thing. So I'm also thinking like, just Austin's fucking dope. If I get in the mothership, that's great. If not, like I could always go back to LA and be at the store, you know? But yeah, it's just like, it's very much.
I like how it's created comedy tourism and like every club here kind of helps each other and each like all these. What I like about Austin is it feels more like a community that LA kind of lacks. Like New York has a community, you know what I mean? Like I feel when I go there and I hang out at the stand and like you see the same comedians, there's a place, there's a hang. Here we see the comics. I see them every single day and every day we give each other hugs like we haven't seen each other in 15 years.
And all the different venues is just different vibes. It's not one's better than the other.
But it's the same
like I come here, it's like when we
Yeah.
walked in, when you're like, I was like, I like this dingy shit, and you're like, it's punk rock. It's like I love punk rock. Like that's why I love Creek.
Yeah, it's like New York vibes.
I like
here.
hanging out in the back the most right there. That's my favorite.
And the vibe, and it's
And there's
always
a
the
great
same
hang.
people. It's always the same people.
What it's
the
about.
patio.
It's a
chilling out
hang,
there.
and also all the comedians travel around, you know, and like we all see each other at these different venues,
I got you.
and it's like I just love the community here, and like each club has its like staple of comedians.
LA
and,
and New York, as great as scenes are, and the reason they're so great is because the bar is as high as it gets in both those places. You need to be where the bar is high, right? So that's why it's LA or New York. It's like not that nobody could be funny from other scenes. It's the reason is because they're all the biggest, funniest comedians are pretty much there in those two scenes. But we're going up with Bill Burr, we're going up with Sebastian, all these fucking
Which
guys.
elevates you guys.
Which elevates the scene
But you
as a
could
whole.
go like 6 months without seeing people that you really, really like.
This is the first ever scene where it's like another group of big comedians attracting really good comedians and creating an environment where, and it's so new and fresh that it doesn't have that hardened sense of cold bitterness.
They're getting shipped in like
that New
waves
York
out here.
or LA both have for being old and hardened. It's fine that they're like that, but they've earned that, you know?
Sure.
But this is young and fresh and it's childish and it's like, dude, I'm telling you, and as somebody that's been in a comedy scene for a long time and seen them change, and like this is as fresh as and
It's
as fun
fertile.
as
It's
fun as it
yeah,
gets,
yeah,
because
all the-
everybody's stoked.
There's new people moving here like every week. Like there'll be like 2 weeks of everything's fine. There's no problematic weirdos.
Every 3 months.
And then, you know,
it's like a whole new class.
it's like a wave of like, sometimes you get really cool people, but then you get like,
And then
some
you know what
not
has
cool.
been pretty dope is watching Mothership grow, because this is the first year of it. So like when I got there, I felt like I was old. Like I felt like everybody had already been here and I'm like the new guy, right? But it was not. It was like a few months. And then now I'm watching like all the ways it changes, involves, and things go wrong. And they're like, it just, everything grows. And this is just like right now, this scene, it's like everybody. And the way the comedians talk about jokes together is what is the number one thing I love about
that.
this scene. There's not better bonding in any other scene. I mean, obviously there's like people that hang out in New York and they write jokes together and shit, but like they're friends. I could be in any green room chilling and I'll see two guys strike up a conversation about, oh, I saw this thing, did that fucking, and then they start going and that wraps me in. It's like, da da da. Now we're talking about this thing and it's just fun because all we're doing is talking about funny stuff.
I love also like when I get off stage and like, I like how we're all not afraid to be like, can I tell you this joke really quickly and tell me if I can make this funnier? I've done that to a couple comedians with a couple and they're so down to hear the joke and like, okay, well, let me tell you this joke. Tell me if you, how do you
It
feel
feels like
about
the
this?
audience feels like that too.
Well, it's
they
like
understand that out here.
it's about the craft here, and there's no other distraction. Like in LA, there's acting and there's
in
TV
LA, people
hosts.
think
That's
you're just
exactly the
in
first
LA.
thing.
People think you're being on, and it's like, no, I'm trying to get better as a comedian.
It's the
Who better
biggest,
to like have that conversation with than
Right.
someone who's also a wordsmith? You know what I mean? Like,
it's
not
the distraction
different.
of having to go audition for shit and make
That's-
packets and
no
like
comedians have
and, like,
headshots out here. That's
but they're all talking about the
none
right
of that
things.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? And it's,
It's
like,
about the
dude,
story.
this kid last night, I forget his name. Great, funny young dude. He was opening for Ralph Barboza, who was in The Little Boy, and we were sharing the same green room, and he asked out of nowhere, he asks me, he's like, hey, do you make eye contact with them? It was such a great, I was like, and I just got right into it. And I asked him, I was like, how long have you been doing? That's such a good question. After I answered, I was like, that was such a good question. And I was like, I've been doing it 6 months. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This kid.
That's the dude that George Lopez was talking shit about, right?
Well, Ralph Barboza, but his opener, and I know I'm going to remember it at some point. But like, anyways, I'm like, oh, you're already asking the right shit.
Yeah, that's a good question when you start.
And that's the scene.
It's art versus the posturing of the scene.
Exactly. Like, such a specific.
I've never been around so many creatives in my life.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really care because Matt knows, like, I'm a wordsmith. Like, I'm about wit, puns, making every word matter. So for me, that's how you separate people who care versus who don't care. And 6 months in, you should be asking those questions and not being afraid to ask them because you only get that experience. You only get to practice stand-up by practicing
One of my
stand-up.
mentors is Kirk Fox. This guy from LA, he's a store guy. He just does all sorts of funny shit. But anyways, really good stand-up. Very like jokey, but like I like the way he tells them. I like his voice. We kind of look alike, so we always got this father and son things. We're bonded, you know what I mean? And he, early on, when I first started talking to him, I couldn't believe he was giving me the time of day, right?
That's adorable.
But I would ask him questions, and one time he was telling me, he was like, you ask good questions. You ask good questions. I was like, I could tell you care. And it's like, it's a lot, like, there's questions are impactful because it really shows who you are. It shows what your path is. So when you're asking the real ones that matter the most to you, to somebody that you think knows, like there's not a better like honor to even be asked. This kid, for what it's worth, I think he asked me like, how long have you been doing it? So he knew the experience, but he asked such an experienced question that I have total experience remembering learning that specific lesson. Like, it's neat that I'm watching these kids be so open in their learning.
They're not all like that.
No, but enough of them are like that. And that inspires that kind of mentality. They don't all have to be like that. It's just
hopefully that inspires the person next to them.
Some people
to go, oh, that's how you think.
And I should think that way.
They
don't have to tell anybody, but it's the fact that we're all thinking the same thing.
Well, some people approach comedy differently. Like if you approach it as being a student of comedy and that you're always learning how to be a better comedian, then you're approaching the art in the right way. Because you can't pretend to know everything. You have to be open and not be afraid to bomb and like not be afraid to do as much as you can to get better, even when you're off the stage. And that means like looking at your sets, considering every word.
Yeah, man, it takes a lot of thought. So you get to do that off stage. Like, I know practice is everything. I mean, we're being a host, I get what you're saying, but I'm like, I'm trying to write jokes and build and like, so practicing these things all the time takes a lot of time. But the next best thing is listening to yourself practicing. And all you're doing is like, when you go up next time, you're going to fix, it's all just like you're forming it. You have to listen. I mean, if you don't and you're producing great results, then more power to you. Do what works. But if you're wondering why like you keep running into the same problems,
it's one thing also, like it's one thing in New York where if you're getting up 5 times a night or like last night 4 times a night, by the end of the night,
got on 4 last night.
4 the night before, I got up 4 spots. It reminded me of New York, and I wouldn't get that in LA. It's impossible to drive to 4 unless you're at like all the clubs.
It's possible,
but you just just driving wise. But anyways, by the end of the night, I had figured out how a new joke and the inflection of how I should say another joke. And that's because I got the repetitions that I needed. But again, it's I have to go back and listen to that to make sure and to like note that's to do that the next time, because I don't have any sets tonight. So the next time I'm going to get to practice that is who knows,
What's the longest you took off?
I don't take off. It's the COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
Which was what, 2 years?
No, it was like
we were still doing stand up in COVID.
Yeah, like
though.
like a month in, we
even
got,
like we were doing mics at like Orr's place.
Yeah.
Like we still like we were doing
we
stand
made
up from our
a
bed,
comedy club in our
apartment.
loft.
Like we tried to do like Zoom.
Remember
for a
we had
second.
names on the wall, like it was a comedy store. We had two
Yeah.
names. We for some reason, I don't know
Dane
what.
Cook and Jeff Garland.
Yeah, those
No
were the two
shit.
things.
They made
If they wanted
made-
spots, they were more than
They-
welcome.
yeah, they could
Oh
drop
my
in.
But they
God.
never hit us up,
No.
so it was
They
mostly
never
just
answered
us.
our booking emails,
Yeah.
but you know,
But they were
so
invited.
We
Wow.
still found ways, but like we were writing and like still like performing as much as we could, and so I guess that would be, I don't know, like a couple weeks, a month, like that was probably it. But other than that, you know, I would be hitting up Flashback every day, multiple times a day.
Mhm.
I started bringing Matt to Flashback. He started doing mics and like,
Dude, can I just say, because when I started stand up, I immediately got a job at the Comedy Store, so they would give me a lot of spots, and I didn't have to do as many open mics as my buddies that were also starting out. But I always felt like I kind of got cheated out of that early like joke writing part of the thing, because like open mics is joke writing 101. Like that's where you start writing jokes. I was already in somewhere, so I got more comfortable with crowd work and bombing but like writing jokes. And then so like fast forward, I think that was like probably maybe 13 years into stand up. She's bringing me around open mics again, where it's like a way more intimate COVID open mic where like we're stuck in here for the next hour together. Like we're all paying attention and shit. I got so much better at writing way later into comedy because I went back to the open mics. And I saw kids doing that. I mean, there's something about being around freshness. See, I knew old guys when I started. There's these old guys at the store.
Yeah.
They're such old, bitter losers.
Well, how old
And
were
they
you
would
when you got in?
Like 21 when I got there.
Oh, wow.
So like, but these guys are like my dad's age, and they're fucking miserable, and they're saying we're losers. You missed it. Comedy's dead. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but you start believing
it keeps dying. Yeah,
But it was
fucking
dead.
It dies every fucking night.
But
no
what you
kidding.
didn't, what they weren't, they were just dumb enough to not like be positive and like see, like if they would have just stuck it out, like everything got way better. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So when I hear that the store is not doing good or it's like whatever,
No.
dude, I'm always ready for that shit to
No.
get like, dude, I was there when they couldn't even start the show if there weren't 6 people in the audience.
Were you there whenever they were performing through the window?
yeah, I performed in the
She did
window.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
That was COVID though. I was there when the night the guy got shot and murdered. I watched
I was
that
there
shit.
for that too.
You were up in the belly room?
No, I was outside in my car.
You weren't there.
Right?
I was like, well, I was there too in my
Yeah,
vehicle.
I saw him dying. I saw him dying.
you
I
went
got
back
out.
to watch?
Everyone
You
ran
paid your
away.
respects?
Yeah, everyone ran, and I was like, "Why is everyone
No,
running?"
he said he was there that night.
Yeah.
He was in his car, and then he came to the store, and then he saw that
I
shit.
walked in,
And the guy was
there was
dead?
a guy dying. He was
Yeah.
breathing his
I
last
watched him
breaths.
get shot.
He was a blood from New York, right?
Yeah, yes,
And they're like, yeah.
yes,
All right. It was a dude, like in the torso.
yeah.
He didn't. It's a,
But here's the thing:
So
you don't see when it
professional.
first happens. You don't see that.
I felt it. I
Like,
was parked
he just-
right out front.
He's
I
like,
felt
dude,
it.
I'm not
I
even
thought it
gonna
was
get into it.
fireworks.
It's fucking
Please,
dark
no,
as
it
fuck,
is dark
dude.
as fuck. Should we
It's
talk
like an
about a guy
actual
getting
death,
shot?
but-
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This,
A guy
let's play some
died
more
in the
Vince
comedy
McMahon
store.
this is the,
people,
the Cry
it's-
Tonight show.
I saw a man die at the comedy store. We both did. That's
I
wild.
mean, yeah, but eras is what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
Chapters.
like
That's how I see open mics.
the Comedy Store. And you know what's great is like, I remember before it had security. By that point, it had cameras and security. By the way, that's just an unfortunate, horrible, shitty thing that happens at the number one place that attracts. But it's real.
It's not the
That
first
would
person
never-
to die there, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that place
but-
is fucking haunted.
Well, now, dude.
Matt,
I mean,
tell
what,
him
no,
how you
I'm
did
not
the
even.
ghost
I'm not
show.
even to go there. I don't want.
I have heard from multiple people how the Comedy Store is haunted.
It is. I could
And
feel that shit
even
from
when you walk
Carnies.
in there, it feels like there's a presence that is
You
in
can feel
certain
gravity pulling
it
you
just-
from fucking
Okay,
down the
I'm
street.
not gonna say it's not haunted, and I'm not gonna say I believe some of my friends that saw some crazy shit, and I know when they tell me they're telling the fucking truth.
Mm-hmm.
I see the what's it called on your when you the hairs on Jeff Scott's arms raise when he tells this tale, and it's the same story that happens to Tony Hinchcliffe earlier that same day. And they could
Yeah.
both tell you. Tony was here. He would tell you.
There's still
a crazy thing that happened to
people
them
who are
that I
being-
do believe. However, when I got the opportunity to make $200 during the middle of a pandemic, because there's a TV show called Ghost Hunters that's doing a special at the Comedy Store, and my lawyer, David Pierce, is like, I know Matt needs the money. Matt, do you have any ghost stories? And I'm like, I do now. And I told a great tale about this cowboy I saw in the hallway.
Oh my God.
And,
Matt.
This is why I don't believe shit on TV.
And, $200 later, I don't have any regrets.
Oh my
Because it's
God.
I'm not
You give 'em
making
what they
money.
wanted. Yeah, you gave them what they wanted.
But I will say this. It's based off this one night I walked by these steps of the belly room. I was turning shit off. I was a worker there. I walked by, at the hallway up to the belly room is a staircase, and it gets pitch black before it gets to the top of the stair. When all the lights
The
get down,
staircase.
it's a staircase. When you're closing down, there's this one time you're gonna walk by it if you're the last guy, where it looks eerie scary. I mean, it gets dark,
The
like black.
staircase.
And I walk by and I swear I think somebody walks up there. I'm like, I literally did a double take. Like I walked by and I look back and I was like, hey, and I turn on the light and nothing was there. But then I got to leave that moment and be like, no way. Like that was just, I just thought I saw something. Years later, I was like, what was that thing I thought I saw? But I told it with the conviction as if I just saw this thing. That's the difference. Did I see something? I don't know. Do I believe it? I don't know. Do I believe some of my friends? Yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah, there's still to this day people who work there who are having like paranormal experiences there.
It's a dark, scary
So-
place. It used to be like a fucking what was it? It was like a restaurant, like a mobster fucking.
What was it called? Ciro's?
Yeah, they killed.
Ciro's. I love. Hey, by the
They
way,
killed people in the
if you
basement.
fast forward my footage, you're gonna see me get more ashier and ashier. in the
Yeah, I
podcast.
have
like,
ash all over
like
me.
yeah, yeah.
Ash
But this should be
Sunday.
a time lapse of me like.
I've literally tried to light this blunt the whole podcast.
I've seen
The
it.
entire
I was like, is she dabbing over there?
The whole
No.
fucking podcast. These wraps are so dry. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
It's so cold out. It must be like, next time we'll know, Victor.
I know.
But
I wish I would have gone to smoke with you guys.
oh well,
Yeah,
We
I
try.
didn't even get to pass it once.
we smoke all the time.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, I try to wait, but sometimes like today's
Today's-
Sunday. I don't.
Today's gone to hell.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, but I do need to be on, so I have to like fall asleep at some point. That's all I gotta
You're
do.
gonna take a nap?
I have to take a nap before 8.
How long is your nap?
As long as it is, man. It's better than nothing. I
2
might even
hours
go.
minimum.
I
2
might
hours?
even go do cardio.
2
and, like,
hours and then
and
run?
earn this fucking nap
Oh, run.
because
and
I
then
need
2
it. I
hours.
need the good karma for tonight.
You'll run?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've been sick. I got an ear infection. I could totally run. I'm blaming it on an ear infection.
Yeah, your legs are fine.
My legs, lungs.
It'll
overall
shake, it'll
mentality.
shake your ear if you're running.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, maybe
I
I'll
don't know
sweat
if
it out.
it'll hit.
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
But
That's all I have left.
yeah, that's what I gotta do. That's a Sunday today.
Yeah.
Usually I wouldn't be high right now, but I came to support my girlfriend on this podcast, and you're like,
He
no,
came to get canceled.
The
Well-
High Today
Yeah.
Show.
you know,
Exclusive content. This was so fun, right, guys?
yep.
Yeah.
I think they need to start paying a premium thing to get the extra
Totally.
shit.
They may have to. I don't know
It
if
was-
YouTube's going to allow this.
Oh yeah, all the WWE stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My bad,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no. The weed smoke.
Oh, the weed smoking. Oh, that's on you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
That's what we
Good.
do.
Well, that's it. It doesn't matter, dude. Like if something's like fun enough and picks up enough, that shit doesn't. They pay when it
Yeah, I'm
can.
still-
When you do.
I ain't worried
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I'm telling you, I got you more followers with that rant about special
Oh,
ed.
great.
about it.
But whatever, guys. Money on the table.
Way to cut it. Sorry, folks.
Will you send it to me?
Yeah.
Because I think I want to do that as a joke about when I was in special ed. That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Maybe. Sorry,
This is what I'm
guys.
talking about, man.
You have to apologize to the computer. That's going to have the worst time.
Dude, the
editing
computer's going to
this.
DM me later like, yo, you got some ideas. Come back.
I loved it.
What, you're into punk rock?
I
What do you
feel
like?
like I got to know y'all. That's for damn sure.
Okay.
You didn't know me before?
I've
If
seen
you
you, but like
don't
this is the longest conversation, you know? Like this is a good
Yeah.
one. Like this is like what, hour and a half, 2
And we
hours.
share a best friend.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur's the big
The great
homie.
Arthur Hamilton.
Yeah.
One time, me and Arthur thought we were going to go to the pool on a Sunday. It was like a nice hot Sunday, came in the summertime. So we ate his mushroom chocolates and we go there and the pool was full and we couldn't hang out. And so Rachel got mad and wanted to go to Target. And me and Arthur were like, fuck.
How
We
fucked
tripped
up were you
balls
at
in a
Target?
Target.
Oh, God damn.
I found myself in the shoe section. Like I saw God there. And
He
were
also
sitting,
thought he
it was
saw
the only
my
place to
therapist.
sit. Oh, I
He
swear,
thought he
I
saw
thought
my
I
therapist.
swear, I thought I saw her therapist, and like I was like, oh my God, that's her, that's Marcy. I got to go tell her. That
Wait,
Rachel
we're gonna
is
have to bleep
horrible.
out her name. I would like to, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Matt,
for sure.
no more. You're gonna do your own podcast. And I'm not even sure you should be podcasting.
By the way,
Can
when
you
I
not?
got
That's like a HIPAA thing.
when
Like
I
I
got-
don't want her to like.
when I got
Why do you do this?
when I got to Rachel and I was tripping, I was like, babe, your therapist is here. And then she's like, no way. And I showed her who it was. She's like, that's
It's
not her.
even her. Oh my God, what a waste of a story.
It's so funny. But the shoe section's the only place to sit because that's where you sit to like take your shoe size. So we're just sitting there like we're on a camping trail. There's like families walking around. Like Arthur was not having as good of a time as I was.
Yeah, dude.
I was laughing.
He wanted to leave.
I get such
Yeah.
anxiety on mushrooms.
Me
can't be
too.
around
I
fucking
can't believe it
people.
worked out. I just think that the chemicals were right.
I get so scared.
That's one drug I don't get anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Everyone's
get-
like,
at-
oh, I
at-
get so
at a
scared
certain
on
point.
weed. Weed is fine. I get anxiety sober and I get anxiety on mushrooms.
Mushrooms,
Fucking-
it's got to be like the right setting, which sometimes you don't know what it was because I couldn't have imagined Target being the right setting.
I was at an anime convention last week.
Perfect place
First
to
time.
do mushies.
That's fun.
That's like an acid trip. Acid and
It felt
mushrooms
the
are enough
closest.
alike to where it depends on
Yeah.
what you're looking for. Acid might be the move. Like if you're gonna go out and walk, dude, like acid.
I like acid.
Acid's great for
I like
being
acid.
immersed in a place. If you're somewhere on acid and it's like you can kind of like dip out. Mushrooms is a good lonely journey through the desert with your best buds
Yeah.
and space.
I mean, I'm too mentally ill for those kinds of
yeah.
drugs.
And
I
sometimes
just
you go off the
do-
deep end.
I just do weed.
Sometimes you're dry heaving in a shower for like 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then you come out better.
That's how I know my high's gonna start. I always get nauseous.
Mhm.
Ugh,
Get the,
it's the worst. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Dry
like a
heaves.
roller coaster drop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exact.
You have to ride the wave.
Yep.
You have
You
to
know what
ride
kind
the
of
wave.
Let's
throw up?
go.
It's a
Clink,
specific
clink,
type
clink,
of.
clink, clink,
It's a
clink.
specific type of throw up. It's the throw up. Did you
I
ever
don't
see
throw
the?
up. It's just a dry.
Oh, I
heave.
do.
It
You
just
wish you
tells me
could.
that-
You
I
wish
could.
you
I have. I shouldn't say
I don't
do.
want
I
to throw
have.
up to hang.
Right. Well,
You know?
but that's why it's not like that. It's like maybe.
Oh, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, some people. I don't know.
I like.
I process
It's
it.
the kind of. It's the
I'm
kind of.
digesting it.
You guys are so
I'm getting it in
spiritual.
my system.
I love
I'm
that.
getting
Do you
for
remember the Matrix? You see the Matrix?
I love it.
The Matrix when he goes when Morpheus first shows
Him,
Keanu, forget his character, Neo,
Neo.
the Matrix, and he comes out for he's like, remember he's in that white room, he's like, get away from me,
Yeah.
get away from me,
And he
get me out,
throws up.
get me out. He's freaking out, and they unplug him, and he comes out, it's like, guys, get away, and he falls down and he throws up.
Yeah.
That's the kind of throw up you have on mushrooms because you just saw
So I've
the
never
real
actually
out-
thrown up on mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
It's just a dry heave of me, my
I've
digestive
done it.
system.
I've done it like once. Like once I threw up. The first time I threw up, but it was like the most impactful throw up ever. Changed my life. I still think about it. Like think about that. When you, like a specific, I was like, dude, I threw up badness that was gone forever.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. But guys, how long do you want to be here? Because I'll talk about mushrooms all the fucking day.
I'm ready to go get lunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, this was fun. I
Thanks
love
for
you guys.
having us, Victor.
Good
Fuck
fucking
yes.
times,
Sorry
dude.
for all the editing you're gonna have to
Well,
do.
let's just
I think
send
there's
the
some
whole.
gold in here,
I think
regardless
there's
of what's gonna
motherfucking
go.
gold,
Yeah,
dude.
regardless of what's gonna go down. A lot of this was fun.
Yeah, dude. It was
Thanks
fun.
again.
It was real.
Yeah. I feel like maybe I should be a therapist. This is cool. I could do it.
Dude, I feel better.
You guys aren't the first ones to like just really like put your I saw family this weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot like this. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Do you record it with your family?
I should. I'm gonna start. They're all very shy though. So
Mm.
anyway, anything you guys want to say before we go?
Follow me at Matt Edgar.
Matt has one T in it. And, you know, You come on by. I guarantee you're going to laugh. It's going to be a good time. If you go to any stand-up show, I put it all for you.
That's right.
So Matt Edgar, come see me. When does this come out?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be in Fort Worth on Saturday, the first Saturday of February with Rachel Wolfson. We'll be there.
Whoever that is.
2 shows. Red Room in Fort Worth. 2 shows. Check it out on my Instagram.
Pretty much it. No, we have Naples in April.
Yeah.
What?
There's
Yeah.
shit going down.
I forget what the dates are on that.
What's Naples?
Florida.
Mm.
That's where we'll be. And then I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. The Hight Today Show. You guys have a good fucking afternoon.